Good evening, everybody. My name is Brad Miller, and tonight's call is about life on purpose. And if you've been invited to this call, you're either someone that's seen a transformation in somebody and you're curious to what this is all about, or maybe you're on your health journey and this is part of your support for just moving forward in your health, which we'll show you a little bit about tonight. Or maybe you're already a resident person that's paying it forward, changing lives. And, again, this is, part of your support. And this is part of one of the ways that you're helping people understand what it is that we do, because we're kind of a crazy crew. We'll kind of explain our stories and how we came to this tonight. And really, tonight's really about stories, because we'll cover a little bit of information about how our program works. And it's great for anyone, whether you're thinking about getting started or you're already in, because you can't hear the basics informations enough. And that's what really makes this really powerful and exciting. So my name is Brad Miller, and I have the pleasure of being one of your hosts tonight. And I'm a certified health coach. I never thought in a million years that health or coach would have anything to do with anything that I did. To kind of give you just a quick overview, because I really want to get to the stories that we're going to share tonight. Combined, my family has lost over 2,000 pounds with this program. And, that doesn't even really display the changes of health and life in all levels that's really occurred in their life. And what I watched that happen at a young age, started to follow their path, and basically was able to change my health. So what's really cool is, we can always just change the future that we want for not only our lives, but our family. Anything's possible if you want it. So you can kind of see there in the top right-hand corner that's me, my wife, and my son, who is doing push-ups, believe it or not. So he follows, he just copies what I do. And I'm really excited to say this is the first generation that we're going to have in my family that hasn't dealt with major health issues and or sadly have passed away from those health issues way too early. So, I love helping people. This was, something I'm really excited to do. My wife and I love it. She's the other half of me. She's actually with my little guy right now. So that's why you get me tonight. And we just love living life on purpose and living optimal health, which we're going to cover a little bit tonight. So I'm not going to really share too much except to say that I'm so glad that my parents found this program and shared it with me, because I can't even imagine the trajectory of my life if I would have kept going. I mean, it seems kind of small when you really think about it, but just being open to the fact tonight, wherever you're at, even if, wherever you're at in those spectrums that I talked about tonight, that this could be the thing that helps you live your life on the next level. And just being open to that mindset tonight. This is the slide that I'm going to share before I pass it over to one of my co-hosts, and it could be called the circle slide, because that's just the way it kind of turned out tonight. But I just want to ask you, where do you guys want to be, in your health? Has anyone stopped and ever asked you where you want to be in life? Not just in your health too, but in every aspect of your life. As we go through tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but the right-hand circle over there, you see that slide with the why and the how and the what, and just to kind of help you kind of find out where these stories kind of came from and what our program's all about, is we really focus on the why and not as much on the hows and the whats and the little, nitty gritty, pieces of it. We don't get hung up on the semantics of thing, because when you really focus on the why of being healthy, the rest takes care of itself. All the things that are involved, exercising, this type of exercise, this type of eating, this type of whatever it is you're doing, it's all good. But if you really focus on the why of being optimally healthy, the rest kind of takes care of itself. And what we like to focus on primarily is healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And those are the kind of three areas. You can break them down into all subcategories. But really what happens is when you focus on taking care of all those areas, you're really thriving in all areas of life. Your healthy body, your physical and the nutrition amount and how you're living your lifestyle and how you feel and how you operate and all the different things that go into that. Healthy mind, relationships, the stress levels and all these things. And, these might be kind of hard to tackle one by one, but really that goes back to the why that I'm talking about. And healthy finances, just, being conscious of where your money goes, because, that's just conscious of where your money goes, the purpose behind where your finances come from, and just really all of those things here tonight. So if you were coming here tonight, just figure out what the food was that people were eating while they were shrinking, you're going to get a little bit more of that. So I'm not going to talk much more. I'm going to talk a little bit later in the call, but I'm going to turn it over to a great friend of mine, Dawn Chow, who's going to share a little bit tonight about her story and introduce some of our speakers.
Thank you, Brad. And wow, it's really awesome to see 90 some people on this call, almost 100. That's incredible. Brad, always honored and excited to share and to help co-host with you. I am so happy that 6-7 years ago, you and your wife decided to get healthy, because if you guys hadn't, I'm really lucky Brad gets to be my health coach, but or I get to be his anyways, but it's just incredible because I've been a nurse for 13 years. And so I always knew health would be by my name. It was kind of part of how I was wired and what I really wanted to share with people. But I got lost in the what's and the hows along the way. And you see that picture kind of in the middle of that strange looking girl. That was me there in that black shirt. I don't even recognize myself when I see that picture. But that was me. I'd been a nurse for about 9 years, and I had gained at least 45, 50 pounds over what I should be for my ideal body weight. And I was going to work every day helping people be healthy, but yet I wasn't. And I didn't feel like a very good role model. And my why, Brad, that slide that you just shared is so important to me. And I love that you share that, because really my why was, you see the picture over to the left, and that's my beautiful family now. Well, I really wanted that. I really wanted to have a little girl. I wanted to have a healthy pregnancy, and it wasn't something, my doctor was very blunt with me, maybe because I knew him and I worked with him at the hospital, but he said, you've got to lose some weight to have a healthy pregnancy. And that was hard to hear. But what I was able to do was kind of cut through the what's and the hows of trying to do it on my own, and reached out for help. And this program changed our lives. And so I lost 45 pounds, had a beautiful, healthy baby girl, got to follow our Nursing Moms program after. And anyways, just the ripple effect of that is incredible. So I'm really excited that you're all on the call tonight, and hopefully you hear these beautiful stories and that something resonates with you no matter where you're at, and what you're dealing with right now. It's possible to create health. And so really, without any further ado, I'd love to jump right into some of these awesome stories that are going to kind of paint the picture for you of what's possible. Really excited to bring on our first speaker, Jerry Jarmer from right here in Portland. I've known Jerry for over 2 years now, and just her transformation and mind shift and all that has happened is just really beautiful. So Jerry, I'd love to have you just tell the story behind these awesome pictures that are on the screen.
You bet. Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be here and get to share just a little bit of my story with you. Wait a minute, I got to set my timer. Brad said I can only have 3 minutes, and I could go on and on. But 2.5 years ago, my realtor came to me and she goes, I've heard about this wonderful program. You've got to call Dawn. Fast forward, sign up, I'm in, got my food, and just I weighed 207 pounds at that time. And by Christmas, so that was in October, by Christmas, I was down 34 pounds. I was doing great. Dawn offered her coaching assistance. No, not interested. I already know how to do this. I've been on a diet my whole life. I got this. Thanks anyway. And I don't know if Dawn even knows this. I'm going to confess something before all of you, that when she would call me to check on me, I blocked her call. I'm sure she already figured that out. But it was like, I already know how to diet. So what happened was that Christmas came, I went right back to my old eating habits and just strayed away from my plan. And then I had the hardest time getting back. I kept trying to, but I just would just give it up. So let's fast forward to December the 29th. By that time, I had not only gained back that 34 pounds, but I also gained another 23. So now I come in at 230 pounds. I'm starting to notice tremendous things in my life that, I hope I don't tear up, that were catching up in sleeping. I wasn't able to roll over like a normal person. I had to kind of do it in 3 shifts. As you can see by my pictures, I'm a little top heavy there, and just everything was out of whack. Showering was becoming more difficult. All of these things that nobody talks about as you get larger. And I was just, something hit me in the face and just said, if you don't get control of this, it's going to be another 10 pounds and another 23 pounds. And then what are you going to do? I was not exercising. Just pretty much not doing anything, but just being kind of a couch potato and eating whatever I desired. So I called Dawn and I said, Dawn, I'm back. I want your help. I jumped in with both feet, and this time I utilized the community, and the community is awesome. I utilized my wonderful, wonderful coach, Dawn, who, I'm sorry I blocked your calls. And I utilized her, and I reached out to her, and I grasp everything from her. Our coaches have such tremendous knowledge and help for us. So I have used that and taken advantage of that. And here we are. Yesterday was my 3-month anniversary from starting on December 29th, and I have lost 45 pounds. I feel so good. I was in Hawaii in March for, oh, there's my timer. I'm going to fast forward real quick. I was in March, in Hawaii in March for a couple of weeks, and I needed a pair of pants to wear, so I ordered a pair and had them shipped over. I wore them. They were a linen black pant that I knew would fit. They did. And then here I am 10 days later. I went to wear them yesterday, my first day back to work. They were sagging. I was a gangsta, and I was sagging, and I was loving it. So these pants are happily going bye-bye. And it just seems like, even though I'm only halfway in my journey, every day is something so exciting, everybody. It is, I want to say, just every day I'm noticing a different change in my body, and it feels so good. And so what I would leave with all of you is just embrace the community, embrace your coach's help, take it all. It's free, and they sincerely want to help you. It's so exciting. This program has been so easy to just stick by. I'm not saying it's always been, just happy skipping down the road, but it's designed to be easy. The help is there that we need. And so I would just leave everybody with, live on purpose. Choose your goals. Pick a short-term goal. Mine was to get into Wonderland. I got into Wonderland, and now my next goal and my next goal. So I won't talk anymore, but I just want to just praise this program and the coaches and the community, because without all of you, I'm going to be back there where I was, and I don't want to ever do that again. So that's all.
Oh, Jerry, thank you so much for sharing. And I just love how gangsta. It is funny because we were celebrating that earlier, that you were sagging in those pants. And I think I can speak for everyone that we would love to hear all the iterations along your story. It's beautiful. So I am sure we'll get to hear more of your story again someday. But thank you so much. Thank you for sharing, and just thank you for jumping back in with both feet, because you're true. It's true. The community is key. And that's what we're doing today, and sharing these stories. So thank you, Jerry. And I'm really excited to also announce our next speaker going down to Texas, Miss Kelly Monzingo. I would love for you to come on and just share a little bit about your beautiful story, because I know that you've had a lot of wonderful changes happening too.
Yes, thank you. And thanks for having me. I'm glad to be able to share some of my journey. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and last November we decided to take a vacation to an indoor water park. And so in November I had to put a swimsuit on, and no one's ready for that. So whenever I was at the water park, we were having a great time. And when we left, I was looking at some of the pictures, and I realized I wasn't in a lot of the pictures, or I didn't like what I was seeing of myself in that picture. So on the way home, it's a 4-hour drive, I was thinking to myself, I've got to do something. What am I going to do? So on the way home, I decided I had a plan. I was going to do it by myself. I know how to do this. I can do this, And so over the next 2 months, I lost 7 pounds by myself. But it was New Year's resolution time. And, I just saw things about Take Shape, and my in-laws have lost 160 pounds. My dad's lost weight with Take Shape. My sister's lost weight with Take Shape. And so I called my coach, my husband's cousin, and we got myself signed up on program. And I lost 23 pounds in the next 2 months after that. So, I lost 7 pounds in 2 months, and then I lost 23 pounds in 2 months. And I can tell you the 23 pounds were much easier than the 7 pounds. And, I noticed that I was having more energy for my family. I was getting excited about going places. I wanted to go to social events and see people, whereas before I would stay home or, shy away because maybe I didn't have anything to wear that fit me good, or now I want to go shopping and find something new that fits me because I enjoyed dressing up and trying on clothes, which is always stressful, or was stressful. And now actually we've planned 3 more vacations where I'll be in a swimsuit, and I've been swimsuit shopping once already, and there were no tears. So that's always a plus. And I was actually talking to a friend about my weight loss journey because they've been noticing that I've been losing weight, and I was listening to her story and she sounded like she was in so much pain, and I recognized that part of myself in her. And so I decided that the best thing I could do was to help her, because I knew how to do it, because I had been on program for 2 months and I was going to help her lose her weight. And so I decided to start a health coaching journey, which has been much more than I ever thought it was going to be. I decided to coach her, and then I've started coaching several other of my friends and family. I'm helping them make better choices so that they can be the best people for their family that they want to be. And it's been really rewarding because, like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom, and sometimes you search for purpose in your life, and I love my kids. But some days, it's just a thankless job. And so this is a way that I get a lot of purpose in helping people. And I'm just thankful I've gotten to share my story with you guys.
Oh, Kelly, that was so incredible. I love what you shared there. I mean, I think we've all been there too. That's kind of goes back to the hows and whats. I can do this. I know what to do. I got this. I mean, how many times have we all said that, or gone to the doctor's office and heard that, oh, you know what? You just got to eat right and exercise. Well, thanks for the great tip, Doc. I really appreciate that. So I love that, because we all know the hows and whats, but look at your transformation when you really look at that. And your story is incredible. And the last thing, you said something that was a trigger word for me. I love the word purpose. And it seems kind of odd that through a nutrition plan you talk about this, but when you're moving forward in your life, all those areas that we talked about in those 3 areas start to take shape in your life, which is just truly incredible. And, just kind of like what you mentioned and what Jerry mentioned is, this isn't a diet, so you can't fall off a diet. Someone who's going to speak later once said, there is no wagon to fall off of. So a lot of people think success looks like on the left-hand side, and really anyone who's ever been successful in their life, it really looks like the right-hand side. And what I like about this is if you meld the 2 lines together, that straight line is our program and the way we get healthy, because if you just keep coming back to that line, those squiggle marks straighten themselves out over the end. You heard that in Jerry's story, you heard all of that, and you heard the community, which is huge. So it's like you can focus on one area, or you can focus all at once and just mold something beautiful that you might not even think is possible over a few years. So I asked you guys earlier, where would you like to be? And many of you guys are already getting healthy. And maybe this is the first time you could say, wow, where do I really want to be? Where would my success be? Maybe it's more than you ever thought possible because you've already gained that success in your life. And maybe you're just thinking, health is not for me because I just can't do it. It's as we get older, we gain weight, we get more sedative. That's not the case. We weren't meant to live a sedentary life. We were meant to live an on-purpose life. And so if you're sitting there right now, I would like to encourage you guys to say, what if I wanted to move forward in my health? What would that look like? So I'm going to go over a couple things as we kind of wrap up here. We have a few more stories, but basically optimal health is like a 3-legged stool. Without all 3 legs, the stool is going to fall down. It's healthy mind, it's coaching and accountability, and it's a nutrition eating plan and healthy motion and everything that goes along with it. So when you focus on all of that, you can't move backwards. And one of my favorite sayings is if you're moving forward in life, you can't move backwards. So that's one of the beautiful things. It gives you an area and a way to focus on moving forward. And just like a 3-legged stool, there's 3 components to our program, which I'm going to actually pass over to a good friend of mine who is really inspiring to me. She pushes and encourages me every single day. Susan LaBelle, who's going to explain a little bit about our program and a little bit about her story too as well.
I love that you picked that ninja picture. Awesome. So I obviously have kids and yes, I'm a ninja mom. Yeah, my name's Susan, and I love just what we've heard, and I'm sure we all can relate to pieces. And I think what's most exciting is that every person on this call is going to have their story. And that's just really what's inspiring. And I think what makes our program so different, or at least what was really attractive to me, is I had lost weight before, but I always found it again. I was in a very oscillating structure, and I had done the diets, and I was really looking for a comprehensive approach. I wanted to be, Brad, just like you mentioned, in a forward moving structure with not even looking backwards, just always setting a new goal for myself. So really how our program is kind of set up is that we have kind of those 3 areas, and you really heard Jerry. I mean, Jerry, I'm just going to put like the little cherry on top from everything you mentioned with support, having that one-on-one ally, someone to really guide you along in your journey. But I feel like what we do is we pick up where most diets really leave off. We're not about weight loss. You've heard some great results, and if that's one of your goals, how awesome is that? But how many of us know people that are thin that aren't necessarily healthy? We're really, and I'm raising my hand because I know them too. health is so much more than that. It's part of it's being in a healthy way, but we're really a comprehensive approach about building on habits and creating health in your life. So not just weight loss focus, but really about what is health look like for you, and then helping you really set a path and create that for yourself. And so through our community and everything, we've got the support, and then the education piece to really help learn what we need to learn to make this more the solid foundation of the habits building upon each other. So we have a simple, and then obviously I think where a lot of us need the most help, and this was me, is just what does the plan look like? Like, we still need a structure. We need a plan. We're busy. We live a busy life. And I love that there's just a solid foundation of the habits of fueling our bodies 6 times a day. Just, every 2 to 3 hours, our eyeballs are open, learning to fuel our bodies in a very balanced way. And we have some very solid plans that make this so simple and plug and play to really fit into anybody's lifestyle. And so if you're heard something through one of these stories, or you would like to create your own story, it's about connecting to the person that invited you and exploring what's going to be the most applicable program for you. For myself, I was able to lose 35 pounds in 10 weeks, but that was over 6 years ago. So my bigger victory is in the optimizing my health over these last 6 years. And I did that through the 5-in-1 program initially, and now I'm able to be on a more optimizing through a 3-in-3 program. And Brad asked for my permission to put that picture up there on the upper right earlier today. I'm like, oh, go for it. But I think what that shows you is that the scale cannot dictate our life. And so as I made a goal to put on muscle and to optimize my health and to change my body composition, my goals changed. And that's what's so exciting. There's people probably listening right now that, we're all going to come from a different perspective, want something different. And we really do have something to help move you forward for you to take those next steps. So if you're looking for something simple and fun and support and community and, a way to find purpose, we've got a lot to offer you guys. And so we're just really excited you guys are on the call tonight. And yeah, you want to go to the next slide too? Oh, this is my daughter.
Well, you're kind of setting me up for my next slide, Susan. One thing I was going to share on this slide, Susan, is, it doesn't matter where you're at. We focus on fueling 6 times a day. And we have plans for that. We have more plans than just these 2 plans right here, but these are our primary. It's there for you afterwards, and it's there for you. I mean, if you're focused on weight loss, our 5-in-1 plan is really awesome for that. We have fast results, or 3-in-3 for maybe starting off from, or for long-term, because 85% of people that even try to attempt to lose weight gain it back and then some. So it almost kind of like a defeating part, it's defeating from the get-go, because you're like, well, why would I even try? I don't even know if it'll work. And if it does, the odds are stacked against me. And I just love that your picture is there, because this program was there for you when you needed to lose weight. But what if you were that person that had, we're already at a healthy BMI? And then this is what our program did for you afterwards. So like we were saying earlier, if you're moving forward, you can't move back. And Susan, I think you've really moved forward over these last few years, just to say the least.
It's been a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, Susan, you want to kind of explain this piece right here? Because that's the best part about it. I was mentioning how, why would I even try? Don't know if this will work. We have predictable transformation. And that's what I love about our program.
Absolutely. And I just think it's plug in, you heard Kelly and, Jerry and even Dawn mentioned, just plug into the community and all the aspects of support that we have, just go all in, make a decision. If you're ready to create health in your life, we have the education piece, we have the community, we have a great program for you too. And we're excited for you to create your own story. Well, and I get to introduce a rock star. Lucky me. Becca is just, I got to hear her share a couple nights ago through one of our community of support. We do a great health huddle on Monday night just to come together and talk on, just a health topic. And Becca, you were beyond inspiring. And so I would love for you just to come on and share, what has this looked like for you, from just like you've really, embraced our whole offering and what it's offered you from the healthy body, but also on the healthy mind aspect of things.
Thanks so much. Yes, my name is Rebecca, and I am on the East Coast, so it is dark and late, but I'm excited to be on call and share just a tiny bit about my health journey. I'm really excited because when I came to Take Shape for Life a little over a year ago, just to tell you where I was, I had tried a lot of stuff, and I was really pretty much afraid of, I think I was afraid that no matter what I did, nothing was going to work. And I did not want to have hope that something would work. Now, I would not admit that to anybody because, sometimes when you're afraid to be disappointed, you really don't want to talk about that because that's kind of personal. But I had about 50 or 60 pounds to lose, and I had tried for a couple of years to do a lot of things. I mean, I did boot camp. I got up at 5 a.m. I mean, I worked hard. I got to where I could do 100 push-ups, but I was still 50 or 60 pounds overweight. And I just really got discouraged. And then all those push-ups, I tore my rotator cuff, and I had to have shoulder surgery and some knee surgery. And so a year ago this week, I had shoulder surgery, and I had just started on 5-in-1 plan because my coach, Dawn, said, listen, will you give me 30 days? Can you just trust me and give me 30 days and let me blow your mind? Let me show you what you can create in your health and not have to wear yourself out. And that kind of was intriguing to me because, to be honest, in my own health journey, it was all about work, and it was all about, just like always being disappointed, and I got to get to the gym, and I got to do this, and I have to do this. And it was not a place of freedom. I mean, in fact, the idea of being free in my health and having freedom was nowhere near my idea of health. And what I liked about Take Shape for Life is she asked me, what do you want to create? What does health look like for you? And of all my years of working with people, no one had ever asked me what health looked like for me. I had always just been told what health needs to look like for me. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. And it became a burden. It kind of became like every night when you lay your head on the pillow, you feel like you failed in some way, because you could not get to health that day. And you just were like, well, check that off the box, another day that I couldn't make this work. So for me, coming into Take Shape for Life, guess what? A month later, I lost some weight, and I thought, oh my gosh, okay, I guess I'll do another 30 days. I was still kind of skeptical because I didn't want to be disappointed. And I thought, what if this isn't for me? What if having health and freedom in my life isn't really available for me? I'm a children's pastor. I have 5 kids of my own. I have a great life. Just because I'm overweight, I thought, maybe I just need to accept that. Maybe I just need to be happy with myself and not worry about that. Well, I will tell you that when I got through my journey and I lost 55, 60 pounds and I stepped on the scale and saw that, I had a moment where I literally stopped and thought, if this could happen, what else could happen in my life? If this weight can come off because I practice daily habits of health, what else can happen in my life? And it opened up this whole idea of possibilities that could happen that have nothing to do with my weight. And so that was a real, a moment of powerful growth and just mental health for me. And so my health journey, yes, I lost weight, and I'm super excited about that. I can jump rope with my daughter and not be in pain. I can wear high heels and it doesn't hurt my hips and my knees. My life is better because I have more energy, but my life is better because I feel free. I feel like I have tools and resources that I have in my tool belt that I can create health and I can share with other people. And I can actually encourage and support other people who I see just like me, who are really scared that this is not going to work for them. And I know what that feels like. So I'm so excited, yes, to find Take Shape for Life because my future body says thank you. But I'm also excited because my future self, who I want to be next year, is already happy that I am doing habits of health every day with my body, with my mind, and with my finances. So I just want to encourage you, wherever you're at in your health tonight, maybe you're thinking about coming on plan, maybe you're on plan, or maybe you're thinking about even paying it forward and being a coach. Ask yourself, what have you already told yourself you can't do? What have you already decided you just can't do it? Well, these are great stories, but I can't, because I just want to challenge you and encourage you, you can. And as you move forward in your health, it's going to open your eyes to other areas of your life that you can move forward in that you never thought possible. And that's the best part when all those pieces come together. So that's just a little bit about my story. But I hope that encourages you to stay open and to keep practicing those habits, because they're going to lead you far more places than just to the scale.
Becca, I love it. Truly, I could talk all day long about all the different things you said there, but literally what's possible and the freedom of where you want to go, and asking yourself, where do I want to be? Because probably someone's never asked you that before. Wherever you want to go, it's the same starting process. So thank you, Becca, for sharing. Really powerful. And I just want to wrap up because we went a little bit longer tonight, but I think it was worth it with the stories. I feel inspired. And the best part about this, what you mentioned, Becca, is we are not a conventional company. And that's why we work, is we're not a brick and mortar place. We're just real people that say, hey, I want health and I can do it too. And then saying, wow, that works for that person, I can do it. And just, one person can pay it forward to another person and another person. And that's how all these stories are created. So you may think about paying it forward, but you also may be the person that inspires someone just by watching you. So as we wrap up here today, guys, I want to thank you and congratulate you guys for being on here. We had an amazing March, just lots of victories like you heard tonight. But we also have a very exciting April. We have some cool things, some cool personal challenge situations where you can move yourself forward in your health and actually move basically, we're going to devote 6 weeks to developing a healthy ourselves. And we're going to start that on April 11th. So just a bunch of cool things that are coming up here. And, what's your April going to look like? Because wherever you're at, it's always asking, what do I want next? Where do I want to be? So with that being said, I want to congratulate you guys for being on here tonight and just encourage you guys because, it's time to start living the life you imagine. And kind of like Becca had mentioned there is if you've kind of shut the door on something in your life, maybe open up that door and ask, what do I want? And also just another thing because, it really took my health to another level when I decided to grow my family and get all emotional because I can see the changes that already happened in the iteration of my family. But, who's counting on you to be your healthiest? What legacy are you leaving in your life? So wherever you're at today, I just want to thank you and encourage you and congratulate you for plugging in. And if you are newer and you're saying, wow, this sounds crazy, but I'm interested, you're one of the newer people on the line. Again, we actually had one of the most amazing marches that we've ever had, helping more people than we've ever had by a long shot. So we thought we'd celebrate by saying, if you're on the fence or if you're thinking about getting started and you need a reason to start, we're going to offer a drawing for about 20 $25 scholarships off or getting started on whatever nutrition plan works for you. So wherever you're at on that, what I'd encourage you to do is reach out to the person who invited you and just ask the question, kind of like Becca posed. What would it look like for me? What do I want? And this is what I want. And how can I get this? And how can this help me? And start your path today. I never thought by eating my first bar when I first got started that it would translate into all the things that have changed in my life and very similar to a lot of these victories you've seen in other people's lives. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a tremendous Wednesday. I'm really excited for April and all the lives that are going to be changed through this process. So with that being said, you guys all have a great evening and congratulations for tuning in.
Thanks, Brad.
Night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone who shared. It was awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.